The Australian dollar looks pretty weak out there, doesn't it? Finally, we got a move. It's sitting around those lows of the session at the moment, around the 74.60 mark. What are we seeing on the charts?
Yeah, well, for me, it's sort of a bit of a structure as far as the price action goes that I've been following for probably a couple of months. And for me, it was, sort of feeding into my bullish Australian dollar view ultimately that, it was a bit of a continuation pattern that we should see that resolve to the upside. Well, since the Fed sort of hawkish pivot and then a sort of a couple of failed attempts at the lower bound of that sort of pattern, it really looks like we're testing the bottom of it now, and it really does potentially portend a bit of a break to the downside. Now, obviously, from a fundamental point of view, a lot of this is because of renewed US dollar strength. And what's sort of shaping up a little bit at the moment is some sort of very light bearish sentiment in the market overall at the moment, and probably some of those reflation trades are taking a little bit of a hit. But if you just look at the structure of price action here, it does look that, that continuation pattern that would typically resolve to the upside looks like it's breaking down to the downside, and it sort of does open up potentially. Well, we're at the moment at about 74.50 or thereabouts, at the time of speaking. But a breakdown here really does potentially open up a further push through 74 and into the 72. So we're looking at, I think, some pretty significant price action at the moment. The Aussie dollar's looking in a bit of a soft spot.
So what are traders doing out there? Are they trying to buy the dip? Are they looking for a bit of a bounce? How are they positioned?
In the really short term, they're trying to buy the dip on the Aussie. I mean, we've seen a lot less interest in trading the Aussie, and as you can see in the bottom pane of that chart, both long and short positions have actually reduced marginally over the last couple of weeks or so. But there is this sense that they're, as is typically the case for retail traders in the market, they try and counter trend more or less and pick the highs and lows in the market, and this is no exception. Now, to be honest, that kind of strategy has probably proven reasonably fruitful over the last couple of weeks, because when we have seen the Aussie dollar hit those sort of 74s to sort of high 74 handle or so, we have seen rallies in the currency, and that boost that we got after the RBA as well probably drew some more buyers into the market too. But yeah, again, as far as sentiment goes, it's definitely one where, with the currency down here or the Aussie down here, traders are trying to pick the low here and play the bounce to the upside. Although again, it's looking like that is a much less fruitful sort of strategy as time goes on. And again, we're sort of breaking to the downside today, which sort of suggests that maybe this move has a little bit of momentum.